A long time ago, in a peaceful village surrounded by tall trees, sweet mangoes, and quiet rivers, there lived a young girl named Cynthia. She was the daughter of Mama John and Papa John, simple farmers who loved their daughter dearly. Cynthia was not just beautiful, she was breathtaking. Her skin glowed like ripe palm oil under the sun. Her eyes sparkled like stars. Her lips were red and full. Her waist was slim, and her hair was long, thick, and black as night. People often said the gods must have taken their time to mold her. But with that beauty came a heart full of pride. Every morning, while others worked, Cynthia would rise, wash her face, oil her skin, and sit before a small mirror her father had bought from a trader. She would twist her neck left and right, pout her lips, flutter her lashes, and laugh softly. Ha ha! Who is more beautiful than Cynthia? No one. Not in this village. Not in this world, she whispered to herself. Cynthia, you are like a goddess. You deserve to marry a king. Not just any king, but the richest, most powerful, and most handsome king alive. Her mother would enter and sigh. Cynthia, please help me peel the yam. We must cook before your father returns from the farm. But Cynthia would hiss. Me? Peel yam? My fingers are too fine to touch dirty yam. Let John or James do it. They are not as beautiful as me. Her mother would only shake her head sadly and walk away. When other girls went to fetch water at the stream, Cynthia stayed behind to brush her hair. When women swept the compound, she painted her nails with palm oil mixed with crushed hibiscus petals. During community work, she sat indoors, admiring herself in the mirror. Even the mirror seemed tired of her face. Her friends once loved her, but she gave nothing back. One by one, they married, not to kings or rich men, but to humble farmers, hunters, and fishermen. Cynthia laughed at them. Ha! Zara, look at your husband. His teeth are like roasted corn. Queen, your man rides a bicycle. Mark, yours doesn't even own shoes. What a joke. They tried to ignore her insults, though sometimes they cried in secret. Still, they found happiness in their marriages, and that happiness only made Cynthia jealous. Let them enjoy their poor love, she scoffed. I will marry a king. I will wear gold from head to toe and ride in a carriage pulled by white horses. One market day, the village buzzed with color and sound. Women sold tomatoes, peppers, and fresh okra. Children laughed and ran. Drummers played soft rhythms under a mango tree. Cynthia dressed herself in her finest wrapper and shiny blouse, tied her hair with a bright red cloth, and rubbed palm oil on her skin until she glowed. She walked into market like a queen, her waist swaying proudly. People stopped to stare. She is beautiful, but her heart is empty, an old woman whispered. She walks as if the ground owes her. A young boy giggled, but Cynthia didn't care. She loved the attention. Suddenly, she bumped into someone. Her basket tumbled to the ground, spilling, and the other person's firewood scattered. It was Mama Michael, the oldest and most respected woman in the village. Bent with age, her hands shaky and her steps slow, she fell to her knees. Everyone gasped. Oh no, that's Mama Michael. Cynthia stood tall, looked down with disgust, and snapped, Why are you standing in my way like an old goat? You've ruined my outfit. Do you even know who I am? The old woman lifted her face and spoke gently. My child, I'm sorry. My eyes are not as sharp as they once were. Then stay in your hut. Cynthia shouted, Don't bring your rotten wood near my beautiful clothes again. Whisper spread. Apologize, Cynthia. She is an elder. She's old enough to be your grandmother. But Cynthia hissed and turned her back, walking away. Mama Michael slowly gathered her firewood, shaking her head. Then she raised her hands to the sky, her voice like thunder. Cynthia, the mirror you worship will soon turn against you. May your beauty melt like candle wax. May your pride become your prison. You shall not see beauty again until you live with the ugliest man on earth. Only then shall your heart learn. The market fell silent. Even the birds stopped singing. That night, Cynthia gazed into her mirror. A strange heat spread across her skin. She laughed nervously. What kind of joke is this? But the mirror cracked. Her reflection shimmered. The next morning, A scream shook the village. "What is this? This is not me." Her once smooth skin was rough like sandpaper. Her nose had widened. Her lips were dry and cracked. Her hair fell out in patches, and her bright eyes had grown dull and lifeless. She ran outside, crying. Chickens scattered. Children screamed and fled. "Mama, Mama, look at me." Cynthia wept bitterly. "Mama, I am cursed. Look at what has happened to your beautiful daughter." Mama John also wept. "My daughter, this is the result of pride. You hurt Mama Michael. You refused to listen. You mocked others." Cynthia sobbed. "I will apologize. I will say sorry. I will give her food. I will sweep her hut." But when they went to Mama Michael's house, the old woman was gone. No one knew where she had gone. From that day, Cynthia became a shadow of herself. Her mirror was covered with cloth. She no longer walked proudly through the village. Instead, she stayed indoors, hiding. The villagers gossiped. "Did you hear what happened to Cynthia? Her beauty vanished like smoke. She looks like the shell of a palm kernel." The once proud Cynthia was now silent, humble, and lonely. One day, a mysterious traveler arrived in the village. He wore a long robe, his face hidden beneath a straw hat. He asked for Cynthia and delivered a message. "Your curse can only be lifted if you marry the oldest, ugliest man alive, a man with rotten teeth, smelly skin, and a heart full of demands. You must marry him not with your body, but with your soul. Only then shall you be free." Cynthia cried for days. Must I marry a monster to be whole again? But deep inside, she knew this was her test, the journey of pain and transformation she must face. Her skin grew worse, her sorrow heavier. The villagers no longer feared her, nor did they envy her. Some even pitied her. One morning, there was a loud knock at the door. Mama John opened it and nearly fainted. Before her stood a strange man, short, hunched, with a huge belly, a long white beard, and skin as wrinkled as dried okra. His mouth had only 3 brown teeth. His clothes were ragged and mismatched, and his breath smelled of old snails. His eyes, however, were sharp like a lizard's. "I am Judas," he said with a crooked smile. "I have come to marry Cynthia." Cynthia stepped outside, her heart pounding. At the sight of him, she froze. He looks worse than the curse itself, she thought. But when her reflection in the water reminded her of who she had become, she remembered the messenger's words. "You must marry the ugliest man on earth, not with your body, but with your soul." Swallowing hard, she nodded, "Yes." The villagers gasped in shock. "Ah, Cynthia is marrying this creature. Wonders shall never end." The wedding was simple, no music, no dancing, only silence. Judas wore a torn red wrapper, and Cynthia wore a faded dress with no jewelry. Her pride had been washed away. That night, in their small, stinking hut, Judas snored like thunder. The bed shook, the windows rattled. His feet smelled of rotten yam. He drooled in his sleep, and he farted with every turn. Cynthia sat by the window, whispering, "I am in a nightmare, but I must endure. I must change. I must be better." As days turned into weeks, Judas proved not only ugly but also mean. He barked orders, "Cook my food now, scratch my back, wash my feet." He complained endlessly, yet Cynthia bore it with patience. She woke early, cleaned the house, fetched water, cooked his meals, washed his filthy clothes, and even began to smile at children again. She apologized to her old friends, helped at the stream, carried firewood for the elderly, and greeted beggars kindly. One day in the market, a little girl tripped and fell. Cynthia rushed to help, cleaned her bruises, and shared her food. From under a mango tree, Mama Michael, the old woman she had once insulted, watched silently and whispered, "She has changed." That night, Cynthia looked at the moon and prayed, "If I ever become beautiful again, I will never laugh at anyone. I will never forget what it feels like to be broken." In her dream, Mama Michael appeared, glowing like moonlight. She spoke gently, "My daughter, your beauty has returned, not to your face, but to your heart. You are now truly beautiful. When you wake, you shall see." At dawn, Cynthia rushed to the water pot and gasped. Her skin was smooth again. Her eyes sparkled. Her hair was full. Her lips glowed. Her beauty had returned, brighter and deeper than before. She ran outside singing. The whole village gathered. "The curse is broken," they shouted. Judas came out, blinking at her. "You are not my wife. My wife is ugly." Cynthia smiled kindly. "Thank you, Judas. You were part of my journey." But, who will cook for me now?" he wailed. She handed him a calabash of food. "May you find someone who loves you as you are." Her parents embraced her with tears of joy. Not long after, a handsome prince from a faraway kingdom heard of Cynthia's transformation. From pride to humility, he came, saw her, and fell in love, not only with her beauty, but with her heart. Their wedding was the grandest the village had ever seen. Drums echoed, dancers leapt, women ululated. Even the trees seemed to sway in celebration. But Cynthia never forgot. She treated her servants kindly, respected the elderly, played with children, and even visited Judas, gifting him new clothes. She no longer worshipped her mirror, because now her beauty came from within. Moral lesson: pride leads to a fall, but humility lifts the soul. Beauty without kindness is like a fruit that looks sweet but tastes bitter. Always respect others, no matter how small, old, or poor they may seem. True change begins when the heart learns.